Hello, and welcome to another edition of the podcast Naked Marketing. I am Chala Dincoy, the CEO and founder of The Repositioning Expert. Aaron Walker's here with us today. Look at how cool he looks with his screen and his giant microphone, you guys. Welcome, Aaron.
Hey, Chala. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Well, as I said before we started, I consider you a bit of a celebrity from all the interviews that I've seen that you've done with some really big names. So I am so thrilled that you're here. We're going to pick your brain for all the marketing mistakes you've ever seen and made.
Okay, you've set the bar high. I don't know if I can deliver, but we'll see what happens.
Exactly. Now, tell us what you do for a living, first of all, and who you help.
Yeah, I'm in personal and professional development. We have 20 masterminds representing 9 different countries around the world, and we get opportunities to help ordinary people become extraordinary in all they do each and every day, better known as masterminds. That's what we get the privilege of, leading 20 masterminds weekly.
That is amazing. Now, are you doing them all yourself?
Oh, no. We've built the Mastermind Playbook. It's a digital product that we created years ago that are really helping people understand the framework that we've built, that you too could build your own masterminds. And I've been involved weekly in mastermind groups now for 21 years. This is my 21st consecutive year being in a mastermind every single week. Dave Ramsey invited me to join his group decades ago, and Dave and I are best friends here in Nashville, Tennessee. And I spent a dozen years meeting in his office with a group called the Eagles. There were 10 of us. And really learned about masterminding through that process. And then when I retired 10 years ago, my wife said I've retired more than the law allows, but I retired from our last business 10 years ago and started Iron Sharpens Iron Mastermind. And the Lord just really blessed it. And today we have people all over the world participating.
That is amazing. So do you actually run any yourself, or are you?
Yes, I do. I run 7 of the groups personally. And then the 13 additional groups, I have facilitators that run those groups, and we do revenue share with them.
That is amazing. Now, is this all about personal life, or is it like a mixture, because you can't
a combination? Yeah. And I'll tell you a quick story that will help you understand. We had a little bit of success early on. I started my first business at 18 years old. So 42 years now, I've been an entrepreneur.
Nice.
We've started 14 businesses over the course of a little over 4 decades.
Amazing.
But what happened is that I came home with a pocket full of money to a house full of strangers. And I don't want that happening to other entrepreneurs, because if you're doing your success at the expense of your family, ultimately you still end up a loser. Yeah. And so I really help people understand how to build boundaries. And so we help professionally, personally, and spiritually. So I want you to be a well-rounded person, and we help you identify those areas in your life so that you're not sacrificing your family for success.
I read that you're a deacon. Are you still doing that?
Yeah, I've actually been involved in our church for about 40 years now, over 40 years. Yeah, I've been involved in leadership at our church.
That's wonderful. Now, is it all on Zoom?
Everything in the mastermind is virtual. So everything that we do is virtual from a mastermind standpoint.
And the church?
No. The church is a local church I'm involved in.
Oh, you will not believe I attended the most beautiful funeral on Zoom.
Yeah.
And I'm in Canada, and my friend was somewhere down south in the States where you are.
We're learning how to use Zoom in a lot of very effective manners. And used to, people were uncomfortable with doing things virtually. And today it's allowing us opportunities that we would have never experienced.
Wow, that is unbelievable. Now, you have had many businesses, more than most of the guests that you could put together on my show. But so not only that, but you're also helping some business owners within the masterminds. Talk to me about, I want to first hear about what is the biggest mistake that you made in your marketing ever. And then what is the most common one that you see that people are making today?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's changed dramatically from when I was first in retail, 42 years ago. we would spend $5,000 on a magazine article and pray that somebody in a surrounding county saw the ad and come in and bought something. And today, I can get on a Facebook Live and have thousands of views in a matter of moments. And so it's dramatically different today than it used to be, obviously. I wish we had had this level of exposure, 30, 40 years ago. There's no telling the level of success that we could have had. The most common mistake that we see today, though, is the lack of consistency.
Okay.
Uh, People will do marketing for 6 weeks. And matter of fact, I'll challenge guys, oftentimes entrepreneurs, to do certain things, and they'll come back in 6 weeks and say, well, I tried that and it didn't work. And I'm like, man, I'll wear a shirt longer than 6 weeks. I can't believe that you're not willing to establish some type of program where you consistently do this day in and day out, because it takes time to build that momentum. But once you get a sense of momentum and you get a critical mass, then it grows on itself. And so I would just say the biggest mistake that people make today is the lack of a plan and the lack of consistency to implement that strategy.
And when do you delineate between this is a bad plan or, I'm inconsistent? Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I think that you certainly have got to give it longer than 6 weeks, first of
Okay,
all. And so I
got it.
think we would both agree to that. The
Uh-huh.
other thing is that people try to be on every platform. And I'm a fan of, you don't have to be on every platform. You only need to be on a few and do it really well, because we don't need that many people to be very, very successful. And I think that's the case most of the time for a lot of people, but they are an inch deep and a mile wide. And I think if you're an inch wide and a mile deep, you will have a lot better success and really master just a few of the platforms. And so I think that we get the shiny object syndrome. There's this new marketing strategy and they jump over there and try it. And tomorrow there's a new marketing strategy. And the thing is if we'll continue to try to add value rather than making the sale will come. And I encourage people to stay with programs long enough to add value. We give away a big majority of the things that we create, but we make a very nice living on the things that we sell. And so I think that we've got to continue to add great value. We use a lot of lead magnets in our marketing today that we give away, various lead magnets that are of great value, and then people find usefulness in that, and then they contact us and they want to know more about our program.
So how did your marketing shift during the pandemic and after?
Well, actually, the pandemic helped us. It didn't hurt us.
Mm.
The reason is because everything we do is virtual, and
Right.
more people are exposed to this platform that we're even using today called Zoom.
Mhm.
And it's heightened people's awareness that they can attend funerals when they're in Canada, in the States.
Like me, yeah.
And they also understand that they can do their work and have intelligent conversations with people looking at one another on the screen. They don't have to be across the table any longer. It also is very convenient from a time standpoint because there's no travel time. We
Mhm.
start on time, we end on time, and it doesn't disrupt your day. You can do it from the convenience of your home. You don't have to be in an office setting. You can use a virtual background,
Mhm.
and no one knows that there's a closet behind you or a kitchen. And it's just very convenient. And so I think these tools have allowed us to exponentially go further, faster than having a physical presence.
Right. And how did that change your marketing?
Well, it didn't really change my marketing other than we marketed more because now people's awareness was heightened. And so we continued to say, hey, see, you're using it now. Your children are using it now for school, and we're using it for all these functions. And so we upped our marketing instead of decreasing it because the things that we do are virtual. And
Mhm.
so it's really been good for our business. I hate that the pandemic happened, but from growing personally and professionally, it's really helped people that they can do that even in the comforts of their home. So
So were
we've increased
people,
our marketing.
that's wonderful. Were people looking more for masterminds because of the isolation of the pandemic and the lockdowns?
Yes,
Or
yes, because you know well as I do, isolation is the enemy to excellence.
Right.
And
Yes,
if
I
we
was reading
really
that.
want to take our life to the next level, we have to subject ourselves to the scrutiny of unbiased, trusted advisors to really help us understand what we need. Like, we need people to really encourage our superpowers and point out our kryptonite, but we also need them to throw the flag on us occasionally and say, hey, here's a blind spot that you need to pay attention to. And so this has allowed people to go deeper, faster. They're more vulnerable. The reason they're more vulnerable and transparent in a virtual setting is because they're not worried about people in their community finding out things about them. Like, if you and I were in an in-person mastermind group, or there was another guy in a mastermind group that I was in, I may be concerned about our wives playing tennis together, or we're in the same country club, or my CPA is in the room, and I probably wouldn't talk about financial challenges if my banker was in the room. But this way, you get all of the ability to be very vulnerable to people that it doesn't affect your daily life. And so you can talk about situations personally, challenges in your relationship that you're experiencing, or your children may be wayward. There may be a child that's really a difficult situation you wouldn't want people in your community to know about. But if you're in Canada and somebody in Texas is giving you advice, you're like, I don't have to be embarrassed, because we don't go to the same church, and we're not a member of the same social realms. And so I can really go deep and tell them and escape the embarrassment. And so we have found that people will quickly be very transparent virtually versus in person.
So do you mean that you pay attention to matching people in a mastermind with uh, dissimilar, industries
No,
and
no, they're not
geographies?
separated. No, not that way at all, because you have certain situations and problems, I'm sure, that you're dealing with presently, just like I do. We all do. At a
Mhm.
different season in life, there's going to be a different set of problems. In a
Mm.
different season of life, there'll be an entirely different set of problems. So we're always going to be experiencing some challenge in our life. People that are younger than you maybe could help you with technology. People that are older than you can help you with being in an empty nest scenario or retirement challenges. So
Mhm.
we can help each other. We can be a mentor or a mentee. So it's very good the more diverse the group is. You don't want everybody looking just like you. You don't want everybody that's in the same economic status as you, because we learn. I talked to a guy named Jeff Hoffman. You may know who Jeff is. He started Priceline.com, and I spoke to him at a conference. And he's a multi-billionaire. He's done very, very well for himself over the years. And he said that he's involved very much in mastermind groups because he doesn't know everything, obviously. But he said something interesting that I really took to heart. He said that he reads every day a couple of hours, but 10% of what he reads has nothing to do with anything he's interested in. And I found that very interesting. And he said, because it opens a new door, it gives you new insights. And he said the vast majority of successes that he's had has come out of that 10% reading. And
Wow.
that's what masterminds do. We don't know what we don't know. We
I love
don't have that perspective. We've only got one life experience. We only have one set of filters. We can only see things one way, even if we choose to see it otherwise. We only have one set of filters. When you surround yourself with these trusted advisors that are very smart individuals, whether they're younger or older, they can open your eyes to many other opportunities.
that is fabulous. So Aaron, what's next for you?
Yeah, just continuing to do the mastermind groups. We've set our goals on 1,500 members, 150 groups over the next 60 months, and we'll probably double this year. We'll probably have 300 to 400 members in the next 12 months, and we just continue to help people in this transformational experience really take their lives to the next level.
And is there a reason why it's only men?
Oh, we
You-
have women also. No, we have both.
Oh, do you?
Oh,
Okay.
yes. We have groups with women. We have groups with men. No, we absolutely have both.
Wonderful. I've only ever been a part of women's groups, so it must be a very different dynamic, I tell you.
Yeah, we don't mix the groups. There's groups for women. There's groups for men. I've been involved in groups that were gender neutral, and they're fine. But it's just not the way we elected to do it, because there's things that women need to talk about that men don't need to be privy to. There's things that men need to talk about that women don't need privy to, because we really get in your personal life.
Yeah, I know. I mean, let me tell
Yeah,
you, there was a lot of tears going on at those masterminds, lots
yeah,
of tears. I don't know if
yeah,
it happens with the men, but
yeah.
definitely happens with the women.
Yeah. Well, it definitely happens with the men too, if they're
Really?
really being
Aw,
transformed. Yeah.
that's good
So
to know.
we get deep off into your life. We sure do.
That is good to know. Well, how could people reach you, Aaron?
Yeah, thank you. The easiest way is to reach out on our website, viewfromthetop.com. That's spelled with a V, viewfromthetop.com. All of our social media platforms are there, and I would welcome an engagement with you to reach out to see if we can help you.
That sounds wonderful. And I hope you come to Canada.
I love Canada and I fish there, so I do come there. So we have members of our mastermind in Canada, so I really love it there.
That is lovely. Thank you, Aaron. Thanks for
Thank
being
you.
a great guest.
You too. Thank you. We'll see you.